boy, this is gonna be tough. As you guys know, I usually talk about the characters and then their 3D models, but Nathalie is kinda a nothing character. Like, I'm serious. Up until we get the scene where she hugs Gabe, she literally does and says so little. Like, yeah, she knows Gabe's secret. Would have been cool to see how she knew. Like, did she just walk in on him doing his transformation dance, or did he just, like, tell her one day? Because it would seem she's worked for him for a really long time. So I can imagine, like, she either found out and she was like, yeah, I need a super raise or whatever. Like, we have no idea how much she actually knows. Like, I doubt she even knows that Gabe's wife is still frozen in the basement. Like, he had to have told her something, or she had to have been like, there's so much, like, up in the air about their relationship in the form of the Miraculous that it just makes no sense to me. The working relationship makes sense. The supervillain side makes no sense to me. But yeah, Nathalie is a very meh character. Like, yeah, they tried to make it look like she cares for Adrian when he gets sad. Like, she's the one delivering the bad news. She should know it's gonna upset him, but still. Like, all they do for her is make her look sad when he looks sad, and he doesn't even notice her looking sad while he looks sad. Like, he can't acknowledge that she feels bad for him if he's not looking at her. Plus, they have, like, zero conversations, zero chemistry whatsoever. I know in the newer seasons they act like they're buddy-buddy, but I'm like, where did this come from? You guys don't even talk. She ignores you just as much as your dad ignores you. Like, I don't get it. Like, she does nothing to comfort him at all. And yeah, I mean, her loyalties lie with Gabe, but come on, give Adrian a hug too. It's not fair that you're only giving his dad hugs when he's upset. Though, I think the only time I really enjoyed Nathalie was when she finally joined Gabe in the fun. Like, I love her akumatized outfit. Very cool. But as usual, the Miraculous team put her back on the sidelines and acted like she doesn't exist until she's needed again. And when she was needed again, she was given the Peacock Miraculous, which I was honestly surprised by. I did not see her being picked. But anyway, Nathalie as the Peacock holder was the only time I truly liked her, and we got to see her more and see her actually do something. Like, it was cool to see her actually get closer to winning than Gabe. Like, yeah, man, let the girl who runs your entire life make the plans. She's clearly way smarter than you. Anyway, enough about how Nathalie is better than Gabe. I mean, she is. And she isn't, because she's basically incapacitated now. I mean, she has her Terminator legs, which, by the way, why? Just why? But still, she'll probably never be useful again since the Peacock Miraculous belongs to someone else now. But, you know, who cares about poor little Nathalie? Anyway, Nathalie's 3D model is fine. Like, the body is fine. She looks like an adult woman and seems to be a bit fuller in some places, which is nice. But then we get to her face, and she's pretty. Don't get me wrong. But, like, why is her eye shape so droopy? Like, she looks sad constantly. Like, this kind of job makes you tired at best. And her eyelashes look kind of off. Like, I'm not sure if it's just because they put glasses on her or if they wanted to go, like, the Julika route, but it looks weird. There's not enough is the problem, I guess. Anyway, other than a few small issues, nothing is majorly wrong, I guess. Like, I really love her face shape, but I kind of wish her hair didn't look like the biggest comb over ever. Like, it's way too smooth. Plus, her anime, long bang in front of her face, like, that didn't used to be there, but now it's there all the time, and it bugs me, and it really needs to go. Anyway, on to civilian Nathalie. Civilian Nathalie's design is super plain, like she's the assistant to the most powerful fashion designer, yet she looks like the ladies at the hair salon at the mall. And I get she is wearing red to match Gabe, and that's fine, but her dye job is so bad. Like, you could dye your hair any color, and you choose the most obnoxious red color. And it's clear you did it at home, since no true ombre would look like that. So when I was redesigning her, I did look back at the concept designs, and basically, it was just a blonde woman in a white dress. There was nothing really helpful, and then there's nothing in her concept design as well later down the line that helped me out, so this whole entire outfit is just pretty much me. But anyway, when redesigning her, I restyled her hair to have more texture with a simple side bang. I also gave her a widow's peak to make her face a bit meaner looking. I also made her hair more curly. It's hard to tell because it's in a side bun, but I'd like to think that Nathalie has a bit of natural curl, giving her more reason to have it up. I have a cousin who has a lot of curly hair, and she constantly wears it in a bun. She refuses to deal with it. I also lightened her hair and gave her gray streaks, as it's never really brought up how old she is, but I'd imagined with her kind of job, she'd be roughly in her 30s to early 40s, and just like Gabe is so full of stress, it's making her gray. I also gave her a more oval face. I gave her much more darker makeup and thicker lashes, as her original look is too little. Like, yeah, fashion people tend to wear more natural looking makeup, but a more natural look doesn't really work for Nathalie, in my opinion. She's not a model, you know, she's in charge of the models. So, you know, I kind of went with the more meaner styled makeup. Anyway, moving on to the outfit. Instead of a plain suit that does nothing for her, I put her in an off-the-shoulder sweater top with sleeves that touch the hand, along with a cross-neck collar and overlapping silver necklaces to match Gabe, since I did give Redesign Gabe more silver accents. So for Nathalie, I did the exact same. A lot of Nathalie's outfit is very asymmetrical, since I wanted to show her conflicting feelings of helping Gabe, but also wanting him to stop and be there for his son, and possibly move on with her, which is another reason I have her dressing nicer. Also, side note, I really hope Nathalie hasn't been pining after Gabe ever since she started working for him, because it doesn't really make sense for her to start working for him after his wife is gone, because then she'd be way busier than she is now. But, I mean, if her feelings developed after she was gone, I think that would be okay. I mean, not like she'd ever have a chance at being a homewrecker given how crazy Gabe is for his wife, even in her popsicle phase. Anyway, I gave her a simple overlapping skirt with silver buttons. I also made it ombre colored since I took away Nathalie's dye job. And I gave her simple pantyhose and Louis Vuitton shoes, since I'm sure Gabe would have gotten her a pair, like, years ago as a gift, since he would most likely be friends with the man. Other than that, I still made Nathalie somewhat simple in silhouette, but added more in terms of detail since Gabe and Adrian and Nathalie all work in the world of fashion. A good chunk of their clothes should show how they really feel or what their true personality is like. For example, Gabe is still in mourning, hence the blues and grays and silver colors. Adrian is trying to move on with more fall and spring colors, and Nathalie is conflicted with all her asymmetrical styling. You know, she's still I imagine she's still kind of like having a hard time dealing with trying to help the man she loves, but also in the back of her mind, she's like, this isn't a good thing. This isn't healthy. But anyway, on to the villain suit, which is just, I can't wait. Okay, I know I called Nathalie a villain in the title card, but I don't really think she is one. She's kind of like the female version of Cat Noir in the way that he would do anything for Ladybug. So Nathalie, in that sense, would do the same for Gabe, but she also seems to be the more calm and collected one out of the two, since Gabe just goes in swinging like crazy. Like, Gabe doesn't care about anybody he's hurting left and right, whereas Nathalie's like, we're gonna get this done. We're gonna focus on these two. We're not gonna focus on anything else. Yet, Gabe is always so bad at plans, so it's no wonder that, like, Nathalie is the closest to winning. But I mean, like, she clearly knows what she's doing, and she knows to avoid, like, interacting with the rest of Paris, and mostly just focusing on the task at hand. So I don't really see her as a villain, but I guess it makes sense for her to act that way since her job is planning and getting problems solved. But anyway, before I get into my version, let's talk about Mayora's outfit. Okay, I actually like it somewhat. I think I like the art for it more than the actual 3D model because, as you can see, they shortened the train, which, bad move, Miraculous team. Though I will say, as much as I like it, I don't think it works for Nathalie's personality. But also, it would seem the outfit never changes since Master Fu also wore the exact same Mayora outfit. I don't know how they let that slide. Also, seriously, the Peacock Miraculous turned his skin purple before it was cracked? What? Then why? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, then why didn't Gabe turn purple when he had it? I'm getting really frustrated with the Miraculous team. They keep doing this. They really need to pay attention. Where is their wall of paying attention? They need a wall to pay attention to what they're doing. Anyway, the outfit itself is cute, just kind of boring for a peacock. And the fact that the shoes don't match at all, like combat boots. Seriously, Nathalie? Seriously? Nathalie works in fashion. Why would she think this is okay? Though I love the hair and face coloring. So cool. Her eyes look crazy. And I love it. She truly looks like a monster, which I guess works since her powers are monster-based. But anyway, when redesigning her, I stuck with the monster theme of my last video, where I thought it would be cool and more interesting that if a Miraculous holder used their power for evil, it would transform them to reflect that part of them. So I made Mayura taller and gave her more pointed ears. No real reason, just so she'd match Gabe. And instead of making her skin dark purple, I went with a more mint blue color and made her fingers a dark purple blue. Kind of like a weird ombre effect, I guess, just to stick with the ombre going on with Nathalie. Now, I know a few of y'all assumed I was going to use the same colors as a female peacock, aka P-Fel. Learned that while researching. But nope. Yes, Nathalie is female, but a lot of fashion designers don't think about a bird's gender when creating. They just like the color or hear the name and go, okay, I'll make whatever. So that's what I did for Nathalie, but as you can see, I did something a little different. I made Mayura's dress very wavy, is the only way I can describe it. But since I figured Mayura wasn't a full villain, I'd make her dress more similar to that of an albino peacock. Look how pretty. It just gives her this haunted, angelic appearance and just shows how this whole situation makes her feel. I also kind of got rid of the fan, as she doesn't really need a weapon, but just to be safe, I gave her like a feather knife. And if you're wondering, well, how is she supposed to make monsters without her fan? I got you. The feathers on her arms is where she'll get them. Cool, right? It'll be so creepy to watch her pluck one off. And it's just like, Anyway, okay, sorry. As for Mayura's face, instead of a mask, I went the same way I did with Gabe. I made it look like feathers are just naturally growing from her face, along with the signature peacock face stripe. I wanted to give her freckles like the dress, but found it was a little too busy. As for the bird wing on her face, I wanted her to have that like couture look that this image inspired. In true honesty, I really just wanted her to look like a painting, something similar yet completely different to the painting Gabe has of his wife in his office. Her outfit, though simple, is very costume couture inspired, as you can see. Like, I even went with like the old-timey, I never know the name of the fabric, but it's basically like that golden crinkle fabric that you would see in like old, like, not black, it wouldn't be black and white, but like in those old timey like Egyptian movies. It's on the screen. I'm showing it now. And as for her hair, I just let it fly free. Like, I just made it bigger and also added the peacock signature head feathers coming out from I have no idea where. I didn't really think that through. Anyway, I know I didn't exactly change much, but judging by how simple Nathalie is, I don't think she'd be the type to go over the top with layers and fabric styles, I guess. But she'd be the type of person to go for a more like detail textile approach. Which is why I went nuts with the detail work, though I could imagine she's picked a lot of fun design tricks from Gabe, as I'm sure she studied like a good chunk of his work. I mean, she has to in order to work for him. But anyway, I'm absolutely in love with this design, and I know I'm like rambling on, but I just love it so much. I can't even describe anymore how much I love it, because then we'll be here all day. And I mean, because like, it's probably now my new favorite right now until I get to Ladybug, and we'll see. Anyway, next video will be Lagoona, and there seems to be some confusion with y'all when I talk about Monster High. I will be redesigning Generation 3, as I think Gen 1 is flawless in its own way, while Generation 3 is clearly made for the JoJo Siwa kids of the world. Like, I'm talking about color, if that wasn't very clear, but like, the colors, guys, I mean, Cleo alone hurts me with this color palette. Like, it's so ugly. Ugh, man, I can't wait to get started on her too. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really helps out the channel, and I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye!